What we've actually done is, because we've raised this up 70 like you might have seen in the previous videos, I've also managed to change all the switches and raise them up higher here. What I've actually done with the switches is I've got custom stickers in, and they're all glow. So run my little black magic UV light over them at night, and all my custom switches will then glow. So you can charge them at night, then that way you can see what they are. As instead of having names for the switches, what I've actually done is got stickers with the angles or direction of the lights or the items. So you can see there the little anchor, that's the anchor light, and next to that there is a little light with a boat in the middle, that's the nav lights. So that's what I've done. And then my little torch here, my little black magic UV torch, that just sits in a pouch there in front of the steering wheel, and this is all my switch panels. I've gone rocker switches up here, I've got the 16-inch SIMRAD, the Yamaha gauges here, the Yamaha autopilot, I've got the Fusion stereo system here, the RA210. I changed it this time to the RA because it's got push buttons there, which I like a bit better and a bit easier when I'm wearing my gloves. I've got the wipers here, I've got the stereo button here, so that turns the stereo on and off. And I've also got the water for the wipers, the freshwater wiper button is just there as well. And they're also supercharged there with the little UV light. And then I've got my zip weight here, I've got my Maxwell anchor here. Put the Maxwell anchor down here, guys, not up high, because if you're reaching and grabbing stuff, you can actually bump that anchor. So putting that there, it's down out the way, clear of me bumping it. I've got the Fusion remote here for the speakers, so that changes all the colors to the speakers as well, so we can change all that. On the side here, that's sub control for the Fusion stereo system. That controls the bass for the sub with the Fusion stereo system. I've got the Yamaha power and start buttons over here, and then down here I've got 4 more rocker switches which do the cabin. What I've done here with the rocker switches, guys, is on the top left here is a priority switch, that's your bilge pump. The next here you've got the live bait well, then we've got the CUDA tubes, or most people call them tuna tubes, but we call them CUDA tubes. So that's the pumps up there, pump 1, 2 and 3. Next there we've got your navigation lights, your anchor lights. Up the front here, that's facing downwards, so that's the front cabin lights. And what I've done there is a warm white, it's not so intrusive on your eyes when you're going to bed. And also up the front there, I've got the red light, which is facing forward down, so you can see what's going in the cabin there, but that's not protruding back out towards us when we're driving along, so you can turn that on and it doesn't really affect you when you're driving. And then on the side here, I've got the dock lights, and the dock lights there, you push upwards and that is red. You push down again to turn them off, and then down to the bottom and you're on white. So that's when you're cruising up to a dock or pulling. Actually, it's really good for when you're filming and pulling the fish in at night. And the same on there, so you've got port there and you've got starboard there. So starboard white and starboard red. The same thing again is on, off, on. So that's on, and that is a beam floodlight right at the front of the boat. Why I put it right at the front, guys, is on the top there, it glares too much over all the hand railings. So at the front there, you get actually a way better view from it, and it's not picking up the glare from the front railings. If you're looking for a more in close range, all you do is push that down, and then that's a wide beam. And then up the top is spot long beam. Down here, guys, we've got the sonar module switch. Basically that turns the radar on and off, and also the S51 module. Because we're doing so many overnighters, we're chewing so much power, well, these two items chew so much power, well, we've got them on an on-off switch. At the mooring, at night, we turn them off. In the morning when I get up, turn them back on, and the module and radar's back on. So next there, guys, we've got LED strip under the hard top there. That's not all white through there as well. Next there, we've got gunnel LED strips as well down both gunnels. That's white through there as well. on, momentary off switches. Next there, I've got deck floodlights, white lights. Next, which is very cool guys, is the alien light. And what I've done this time is I've actually put UV lights on the bait board instead of in the drawer of the bait board. So we turn that bad boy on there, that activates the UV light on the bait board, and then we can supercharge all the lures, like all your glow lures, the bottom bangers and all that sort of carry on. So that's the little alien light there. The next switch is the bait board light. Turn that on, and that is a white light facing inwards. And you can see by the angle here guys is what it means for that light. So downwards is the back LEDs, inwards on the angle there is the gunnel lights, and then facing forward towards us, I know it's the bait board light. Got the bait board white light there, but also in the drawer when the white one comes on, you open it up and you've also got a blue LED in the drawer there. Just at night you can see what the tools are and get your tools out. Makes it nice and easy. So blue LED in there, that comes on when the white one comes on. The next one there is the motor or transom light. Same thing again there, momentary on, and that's white as well. So that lights up the back transom if you're bait fishing off there at night. It's also really good for safety at night when you're traveling, so people can see you in low light hours, and that's in white as well. Next switch across guys is blue live bait light, so that's just a light in the live bait well as well. Next switch across there guys is two lights facing down, as you can probably see from the little logo. That is my underwater lights, and they are white as well. Next one I've got there guys is the fridge. That's on because I'm here parked up overnight waiting to go out for a fish tomorrow morning. Down below here, these are purely the cabin ones. So when you come straight into the boat, you know, all you have to do is push these and that'll activate all the cabin lights. Port side red LED strip light. Now I've done them in 60 LEDs per meter. That makes it a little bit softer and not so bright on your eyes when you're chilling out at night in the cabin. Next one there is the down lights, and they are in white. Next switch across, that is another center red light / white. Purely just touch the nozzle on that and it'll go from red to white. Next one across there is the starboard LED strip, which is 60 LEDs per meter as well. At the back door here guys, got a USB charger there. I've got the little alien switch light there, and I've got another light there. So if we're fishing at night and we're sitting on the deck chairs, instead of coming all the way into the cabin, I can quickly turn that switch on there, and that'll give us bright 120 per meter LED strips down under the hard top there. Then the next one here, the little alien guys, is very cool. So what I've actually done is run 120 per meter LED strips all the way around the back door frame, and that gives us a real cool red light that's not in our faces. So when we're fishing at night, we can turn that bad boy on and those red LED strips come on all the way around the doorway, face out away from us, so we can sit there and you can actually see all the tips of the rods in that at night when you're fishing all night or overnight. So that's a real cool sort of chill out light. It's also good just when you're parked up for the evening as well. So that's the old alien light there on the back door. Along with all the switches to control all the lighting I'm actually running in the system through the SIMRAD guys is called Lumishore lighting. Click on this Lumishore logo there and I can control all the lighting as well from the touchscreen from the SIMRAD Evo 16. And I can also turn them on and off here. If I want to turn on the cabin lights, just got to turn them on there, turn them on and off. If I want to do like the deck lights, I can turn the deck lights on there. Deck LEDs, I've got the gunnel LEDs, transom LEDs, deck flood, underwater starboard and underwater port. So I can turn on the port underwater light, starboard underwater light. The best thing about it guys is I can actually touch that there and then I can choose any color I want. From white, I can go into here and choose any color. So if I want to run blue to scare off the sharks, I can run blue. If I want to run green, I can run green. So if I go back to zones up here, I'll turn off that zone there so we can see the color better. Go back into blue there and I can go green. I can run red if I want. I can do cyan, magnesium or magna, whatever that is, sky blue, lime, and custom colors I've made there. and that goes with both underwater lights. So go back to the zone there, and if I want to go the deck floodlights there, turn them on in white, push that, same thing again guys, go into there and I can choose the colour. So we'll go blue for the deck floods, and I'll increase the strength of them up to there, turn the strength on as well. I can change the colour from lime, red, that purpley cool colour. Next thing there, I'll go back to zones, the gunnel LEDs. So they're in white at the moment. We'll click on there and we'll change them. We'll go into, let's say we'll make that a blue, and that's quite cool. We might just dim that down a wee bit to give us that retro feel there. That's pretty cool. So we'll go back into next one there. So we'll go to transom light, we'll turn that on. Right, and click on that, and we're in a blue colour there for the transom light. So we might make that into a, I don't know, let's go a red on that, eh? So we'll make that a red light. Well, actually, let's go lime. Go back to zones. So back into the zone screen here. If I go deck LEDs, right, and that's the deck strip there. Let's change that up. Let's make that, we'll go a lime colour in that there. Or actually, we'll make it a yellow, and we'll dim that right down. And what do we got? The deck floodlights there. Where are the deck floods? Deck floods there. We'll dim those bad boys down a bit. Actually, no, we might change the colour there. So we can use the colour wheel as well to change the colour. And that's the same with the cabin lights as well, guys. Or if you want whites, you can go the normal bright white or your warm white, which is really good in the cabin. But we'll change that up again. We'll go magnesium on that. Actually, we'll go red because that's quite trippy. And we'll brighten them up quite a bit. So go back to, yeah, we've got the cabin lights there, the starboard underwater light as well. So we can turn that on, and we can actually run two different colours underwater there. So we can run any colour we want. We could go a blue colour and a green out the back there. We could do the same colour, and that's awesome. And then the next thing you can do is we can go back to zones there, guys. We'll turn them all off, and the brightest lights there are the deck floods. So we'll turn the deck floods on. We'll click in there. Next thing I can do is we can cycle through the colours there. So we'll go into a blue cycle there. Or actually, we'll change to RGB, and that'll cycle through. And then we can choose the speed we want it to cycle through. Come in there, and that'll cycle through those colours to whatever we want. So if you're having a party or something along those lines, you can crank up that and go to sunset, and it'll cycle through those colours as well. Now next thing there too, guys, is you can go random colours there, so it'll pulse. So if you're having a party or something there, you can put it on random. And if we go back into there, we can change the colour to blue, go back into that there and go random, and that'll pulse through there. And you can go fixed as well, which will just turn on and off, and you can make that faster if you want. So if you're doing disco party sort of carry on, that's there. And that's sound to music here. So if we crank some music up, play that, that'll actually change with the music as well. But we won't do that at the moment because that's non-copyright music. And then, so that's your zones there. So you can muck around with the lights heaps there, guys. So if we go back to zones there, I'll power down that. Next cool thing is up the top here, we've got scenes. So I've come into here, and what I've done is I've changed the scenes to suit. So travel mode here, we don't want a lot of lights on, but we want a transom white light on so people can see us. We want underwater lights on, and we want the navigation lights on. So if we click that there, that'll turn on. What I've done is light reds in the LED, so if you're walking around when you're traveling, you can see what you're doing. You've got the blue underwater lights on, and you've got the white transom light on as well. So we turn that off there. Next one we've got is dinner mode. So if we push dinner mode there, that turns all the cabin lights on white, puts a white deck light out the back, and so forth. Next thing is live bait mode. We turn that bad boy on. Green underwaters come on, transom light comes on green, and you've also got a light lime colour down the transducers and green along the hard top. So basically these here, guys, you can set up and customise all the colours you want. Here we've got blue oyster mode. If you've seen Police Academy, classic. So we've got blue oyster mode there. Click that on there and all the lights come on blue. Next one there, dawn modes. When we get up in the morning, it turns on the cabin lights here in a nice warm white, not too bright, so it's not so intrusive first thing when you wake up. Alien mode, that's just trippy mode I did, which is pinks and blues and just a crazy style mode. Going to squid mode here, which will turn everything on white. The gunnels are a nice sort of what are they, yellowy sort of colour. Floodlights are on white. So basically guys, you've got different modes. So if you're catching bait fish there, you're green. If you go into there, you're white. And it's a push of a button there guys. That changes that instantly. We've got page 2 here. If we come into here, we'll go into night mode here. That turns everything down. Inside the cabin here is red. Out in the gunnels is red. Live bait wells on. Get rid of that now. Out the transom's red as well, so you can just sort of see what you're doing at night without it being over the top. Next, going fish on mode. So if we hook up a fish at night, we can run in here and push that, and that'll engage all the floodlights, so it'll illumine up the side, so we can see what we're doing. We can net the fish, and I can film as well. Senator mode. So what I've done is sponsor modes here. So senator mode, click on that bad boy, and everything comes on in orange. So you got a dark orange in the trans, in the gunnels, a nice lighter orange through the top. So if we're doing some photos or something for Senator, we can click it in Senator mode. And these are modes I've just made up. Why not? You know, that's pretty cool. So Yamaha mode, guys, you click that on there, and that'll come on. Switch everything on in white and red in Yamaha colours. SIMRAD mode, that'll bring everything on in reds to kind of orangey colour for SIMRAD. Next we'll do a SHIMANO mode. That'll turn that on there, and everything will come on in different shades of blue. Turn that bad boy off. Rescue mode. So this is pretty traumatic. If you could probably trick your mates that you're a police boat with this one. Turn that on there, and everything's pulsing in blues. Next one there is new scene, which is just both underwaters come on at the same time. I can click that there, and that turns the underwaters on and off as well. So that's all the scenes there, guys. So that's your scenes and your zones, and that's real easy to do, you know, like rescue mode. There we go. Now we want to hold that down. Deck floods there, and we're going to change those bad boys to red, and then we're going to random them. So there you go. Go back, save that, and there you go. Shut that down. Go back to zones. You can just go all zones on, all zones off. That is the power of Lumishore. And once you go there, guys, you can turn off any of them. And once again, if I want to use my floodlights, turn them on there, and any of the switches will bring them on white. And if you want to use, it will change the colors there. If I turn that off there and go back to zones there and go the deck LEDs, turn that on there, and it was the last mode that I had. So we'll change that to a white there, and that just brings it on white, or we can do it as a red if we want there. So that is the beauty of Lumishore, and that just integrates flawlessly with the SIMRAD there, guys, and it is one of the most powerful lighting systems through a boat. And I can run any colors through 6 zones. So I've got 6 zones through the boat here, and it is absolutely a game changer, guys. Very cool.